In this video, I want to introduce you to the old Dodge, a 1941 Dodge weapons carrier with a 32 Diamond T cab. This truck is really special to me because it's the vehicle that got me into fixing old cars and trucks. From when I was a kid, it drew me in, was very interested in it. It's got a lot of history to it, and on top of that, it's very unique. So I'm looking forward to showing it to you and telling you about it. This truck started out as a 1941 World War II Dodge weapons carrier, and somebody bought it Army surplus and put a 1932 Diamond T cab on there. I talked about it having a lot of history, and my dad bought it when he was 19 from a guy that used to use it to haul sailboats down to Milwaukee and back. And he had bought it from a guy that was a master fabricator. And before that, it was a mail delivery truck down in Brule, Wisconsin. And so I'm not sure who added the 32 Diamond T cab on there. As far as I know, when it was delivering mail in Brule, it had that cab. So somebody did it. I'm not sure if an outfit did it or if a owner that is not documented did it. But other than that, it's pretty much all original. The engine that was in it before would have been a 218 cubic inch engine, but this has a 230 cubic inch straight six, and that's a Chrysler motor. The air cleaner has always been a paper filter. Somebody took out the oil bath air cleaner a long time ago, and it's been converted to 12 volt, so it turns over really quickly and nice. I replaced the exhaust manifold and the intake when the exhaust cracked, and I've rebuilt the carburetor and done some other maintenance type work to it. But this engine has started every single time that we tried to start it from when I was a little kid. We used to go and brush snow off of it, and it would start in the middle of winter after it hadn't been running for months. So you can see where they cut part of the running boards to get the cab to fit. They also, looks like, had to add a little strip to the fenders. And it seems like they kind of pinched the hood in, but that seam where they put the 32 cab onto the 41 is really well done. The tools that they would have had to do that metal work were pretty limited, so a lot of times it was done with hatchets and hammers and hacksaws. So it was tough to get it to look this good. And you can see they kind of added panels onto the cowl, panels that were close enough in shape to get it to fit. And again, that's the seam from the other side where they fit that 32 cab on there. Inside, it's got some old school bus seats that have seen better days. But the dash is all original, and the cab has slowly been falling apart over the years. I really something that I want to do for this truck is redo all the wood in the cab. The cab being a 32 Diamond T, it's wood framed, and then it has sheet metal stretched over the top of it. And you can see where the wood has rotted away in a lot of different places. Surprising how good of shape it's in for how much it's been exposed to the elements, but it really needs to be freshened up. In the wintertime, I drive this every day as my daily driver. This heater still has a little 6-volt fan, but that tropic air heat works well. The 6-volt fan with a 12-volt battery, that thing will spin like nobody's business. But there's more of that wood frame. The old registration papers are still up in the cab from when it was the mail truck in Brule. That's how I found out who owned it before. And it's got a vacuum wiper that can just barely push snow off of the windshield. If that snow accumulates much more, it has a tough time doing it. My passenger door also needs a new handle. Part of the wood frame falling apart as the door is not very accessible for passengers, so I keep it closed. But that's the tag from the Diamond T factory, and the number is pretty low. I think it's 768 or something like that. So in the 3-digit serial numbers. And again, as pieces of the cab fall apart, I keep them safe. Again, this dash is all original. It's got the plates of what it would have had when it came out of the factory for a World War II truck. Those speeds are optimistic. It says you should be able to have a top speed of 55 in fourth, but I have not seen that yet. Single speed transfer case, non-synchronized transmission. It's about as simplistic as it can get, but reliable. That's one thing about this truck that's amazing, is how reliable it's been. I love the latches that are on this tailgate. I believe somebody added them after the fact, or at least repaired them. But they're very simple and they work well. My dad and I replaced the wood in this bed. It needs to be sanded down again to make it look as pretty as it did as when we replaced it, but it's still solid and in good shape. I painted the frame a while ago from about the cab back, but there's that single speed transfer case, transmission. Everything is about as simple as it gets in this truck. Simple but reliable. That's the best way.